Right now, we are waiting any second right now from an update from Surprise Police at the Surprise Council Chambers on the 6-month-old baby who was shot multiple times last week. It started with that standoff from SWAT, and then it ended with the father shooting himself to death. Let's listen in right now.
Standing with me, I have from the Surprise Police Department, Chief Benny Pina. From the Surprise Fire Medical Department, Chief Brendan Espy. From the Goodyear Police Department, Chief Art Miller. From the Buckeye Police Department, Chief Bob Sanders. And from the City of Surprise, Mayor Skip Hall. We brought everybody together today to discuss an incident that occurred on May 17th when officers from the Surprise Police Department responded to a private residence after a 911 call was received about a woman and infant being held hostage. Officers arrived and heard multiple rounds of gunfire from inside the residence. Officers worked to force entry into the residence to rescue an infant, a 7-month-old baby Jackson. Once officers located baby Jackson, they ran him to firefighters who immediately rendered medical aid. The suspect, identified as 51-year-old Todd Marchetti, refused to come out of the home, and after an hours-long standoff, set a fire started inside the home. Fire crews were unable to immediately tend to the fire due to sounds of gunfire coming from within the home. Once it was safe for investigators to enter the residence, they discovered the remains of Marchetti with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. Please allow me now to introduce Chief Benny Pina.
Good afternoon. I just have a few things that I want to cover today. Number one, thank my leadership team here in the city, to include the mayor, council members, and all my fellow directors that are here that have, throughout this entire incident and throughout the entire weekend, offered me unwavering support and checking the condition of all of our employees, to include our unified fire and medical team, along with my police department. And when I say unified, when we talk about public safety, that's kind of be the theme of the day for both myself and Chief Espy. Not only do we plan and train together, but we have a cohesive environment with my training center, and our training center, I should say. And so that many of our employees are together all the time, and we have built a great community to serve our public. Thank you to Chief Bob Sanders for his department being the lead agency and taking the investigation at the end of this incident in the partnership of the West Valley Incident Response Team. And thank you to Chief Art Miller and Goodyear Police Department, because the call for tactical officers came out from my team, and our fellow SWAT team from Goodyear responded both equipment and held a perimeter as we were making entry into the home to try to resolve this. Also like to thank, even though they're not here, the Phoenix Police Department. I spoke to both Chief Sullivan and Assistant Chief DePonzio over the Tactical Support Bureau. If you didn't know, their special assignment unit had responded with equipment and manpower, and we're preparing to assume our tactical positions because of the heat and the prolonged activity that we had engaged with in trying to get this suspect to resolve this incident peacefully. And they were preparing to assume the tactical portion of this incident when the fire occurred, and essentially the barricade ended and we went into recovery mode. Chief Espy and his entire team that's here, leadership team, it is because of those meetings, the friendships, the lunches, the things we do together to bond ahead of time and make plans and be unified, that we've had success on Friday. I have to tell you all that I just went through an interview. Thank you, Jason. And I get a lot of questions as to why. Why do these things happen and why surprise all of a sudden? And really, they haven't been. It's just, I think that all of you do a better job of covering these incidents, but causality is always the question. Why did this happen? Why did this happen? And I'm a longtime investigator, and I usually find out a lot of the things, but many times, and such as today, the why is never going to be answered because it's hugely illogical. And what I told my department in a message to them, and in my continued message to them, is this is why we prepare. This is absolutely why we prepare every day the way we do, and why we prepare mentally and physically to be able to do things that sometimes others couldn't even imagine doing. And I think you're going to see that in this video, in our body-worn camera that we're going to release. And so you're going to see bravery, you're going to see heroics. However, every employee, both fire and PD, their first question to me wasn't the why, is the baby okay? Over and over again from every employee. Their selfless acts that day was completely focused on saving an infant that they didn't even know the name. I didn't even know the name. But we had resolved this in peaceful manner. We would have had successful prosecution because we were working so closely together that we had documented everything to show the depravity that had occurred. And I don't use words lightly like absolute humanity, because that is what I saw that day. And I was very proud of how we performed, but more proud of the fact is that you had not lost your humanity. My entire department maintained humanity. And in times like today, where things that happen that don't make absolute sense to you, that can ruin a career. That can cause so much damage to a community, because that's what our community keeps asking. Why is these things happening? And it's really about what we're facing in society. Whether it's mental illness and domestic violence and substance abuse issues, these are all issues we stand resolved to keep our community safe. But you have to call us. You have to follow through with us. And you have to assist us with prosecution. And you have to show up for court appearances. And that's not specific to this case. That's specific to all folks. And so the message I sent today, please focus on this. If you're in a relationship that isn't healthy, that you feel is not to your benefit, that isn't supporting you, and is actually a threat to your life and to your future, call us. We'll be putting out some information on hotlines to be able to contact us if you need help with a domestic violence situation. If you have a family situation that you're not sure how you resolve, we will be focused on providing those services. And in meeting with the family today, expressed, my concern for our survivors and how we would stand with them. And I'll close with that, is that when incidents like this occur, oftentimes all of the uproar will die down, the attention will die down, but our resolve to assist your family in recovery is forever. And so the same as I tell our recruit families, we're together now. You're part of the family because we've gone through something together. And it's our entire community. If I could get our entire community that wants to know how to help, we'll focus that attention too. But this family is hurting, and they need your assistance. And so with that, I will turn this over to Chief Espy.
Thanks, Chief. Welcome and thanks to everyone for being here. I would like to echo Chief Pena's comments about the support from fellow directors, city manager's office, elected officials, mayor. Without your guys' support, I'm convinced that Friday's events definitely would have turned out different. And for that, we're very thankful for the support we get here in the city. But before we continue discussing heroic actions of firefighters and police officers, I would like to first acknowledge the biggest hero of the day to me, which is Allie, Jackson's mom. Her actions saved not only her life, but the life of her son. Unlike our members in the PD and fire who train for situations like this daily, Allie had to make a split decision that will impact her life and Jackson's life forever. I would like her to know she should be very proud of her decision that she made. And I don't know that any of us know what we would do when we're faced with those types of situations. So for that, if you could please pass that on. I think Chief Pena and I have talked about this, and we just thank the world of her and for what she did that day. I'd also like to thank the construction workers and the folks that were in the neighborhood that day. Without their assistance, who knows where this would have went to. Allie, when she went out to contact them, anybody could have looked the other way or decided to not get involved. But Surprise is such an incredible community, and the cooperation between complete strangers that day, it's just really a testament of what this community is all about. Next, I'd like to touch on the actions of our fire department members once they took control of Jackson from the police department and the SWAT medics that you saw earlier, and some of those folks are here in the audience today. As police exited the home, they handed the infant, Jackson, to one of our SWAT medics who started to initiate care. While initiating care, this medic found the assigned treatment crew and coordinated the transfer of care. The crew quickly stabilized Jackson and transported him to the landing zone, where minutes later he was airlifted to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Some of the things that our medics did for Jackson were a chest seal placed in his abdominal area, direct pressure applied to extremities to control bleeding, and medication therapy that was initiated before Jackson was airlifted. Again, I believe without these advanced treatments, I'm not sure what the outcome would have been. And so for that, we're grateful for all the EMS staff and the police department and the SWAT medics that helped us that day and to get Jackson into a good spot. I'd also like to acknowledge the flight crew and the staff at Phoenix Children's Hospital, which is where Jackson was taken. What they do routinely as well is unreal. Phoenix Children provided us with multiple updates late in the evening, which goes a long way for the mental health of all the responders. As Chief Pena mentioned, I think the biggest question for everybody involved that day was what the outcome of the infant was going to be. And so thanks to Phoenix Children's and everybody down there for keeping us up to date with that. We're very thankful for our partnerships with them and their willingness to provide us with ongoing updates. And as far as the firefight goes, as Chief Pena mentioned, unfortunately, with an unsecured scene, the fire department was not able to make an immediate attack on the fire. The decision was made to initially protect the house to the east, which once the PD was able to secure the scene, the fire department then moved in and with the protection of some of the SWAT teams here in town. I believe Goodyear and our SWAT team helped protect our members when they were applying water to the fire. I'd like to say that my sympathies go out to the family who lost their home, their possessions, and so many things that were important to them. My gratitude goes out to our police officers, firefighters, and the entire team that came together to ensure we didn't lose baby Jackson. It was everybody's efforts that saved a life on Friday, and I'm deeply thankful to all the first responders who worked tirelessly for that outcome. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Chief Pena. Thank you, Chief Espy. At this time, folks, right now, we're going to transition a little bit. Please understand that this is still an ongoing investigation, but we worked very, very closely with the investigators to be able to release a portion of the response that our initial officers had. I said, this is an ongoing investigation, so there's some components of this that we are unable to release, but I will set the stage for you somewhat. So our patrol officers are always going to be our first responders to any particular incident. When the video starts, you are going to see the patrol response, and you will hear what will happen that will elicit additional resources in response. We are very, very lucky in the city of Surprise. We are equipped with the resources to quickly respond, and we have the training to quickly respond to a number of situations. You will see then when the resources got there, just exactly what the officers faced as they entered the home to rescue baby Jackson. So at this time, I'll ask you to turn to the monitors, and you'll be able to see the video.
Hold on. It's not coming through the door. Yeah, stick to the front door. Yeah. Go, go, go. Get up, get up, get up. You guys flow.
One off our be advised, we got him inside. He's taking the kitchen. We think he's in the 1-4 corner bedroom, the third barricaded. Again, be advised, he is inside. We think he's barricaded, 1-4 corner bedroom.
Baby.
Go, 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 go. Watch out, watch out. Good, outside, 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 go, go, go.
With the car. Empty gun. Empty gun. Baby, get the 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 baby. Get the baby. Go, 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 go. Get the baby, get the baby, get the baby. Go, back down, back down.
Back out, we got the baby, we got the baby. We got the baby, we got the baby. Jackpot, we got the baby, we got the baby.
And folks, so that is the first time many of the officers and the family are seeing that response. At this time, what I am going to allow some time to do is for the family and some of the first responding officers to exit. I will read a statement from the family. I want you all to please understand that this is a very difficult time for the family. The family has been inundated with phone calls due to the national, local, and statewide interest in this particular incident. But we are going to request that the family has a chance and opportunity to heal together. I will read a statement provided to us by the family, and after this press conference, we'll make that video and the contact information for the family available to you. So that way any contacts from the press and the media are going to one particular source and allowing the family that opportunity to recover and heal together as a family. So at this time, if you give me a little bit of time, I'm going to have some of the dignitaries, officers, and family exit. You follow them, sir. And so again, this is a written statement provided by the family of baby Jackson. Welcome, and thank you for being here. Give me 1 second, I apologize. Had some folks bringing up different notes. All right, so here we go. Again, a message from baby Jackson's family. For a world that gets too exposed to so much bad these days, let me remind you that there is way more good, and we have proof. Our family would like to thank everyone who has donated money, clothes, food, and more. Our family is so grateful for your generosity, kindness, and compassion during these difficult times. We are so lucky to have a thoughtful family, friends, and even folks we've never met before. First and foremost, the recovery of our grandson Jackson occupies our every thought. This focus is on his recovery right now. Jackson is still in ICU, but making positive progress every day. He is one tough little dude. Seeing him in that hospital bed breaks our hearts, but also reminds us about how precious life is and just how much we love him. Thank you to the Surprise Police Department and Fire Department for their quick responses after shots rang out. Their quick responses is why Jackson is still with us. Thank you. Allie is understandably troubled by the events of last Friday. Her quick thinking and intuition helped save her life as well as Jackson's. She too is very thankful for the outpouring of kindness and generosity. Her work and personal friendships have been so helpful. Our home is sadly 100% gone. Most stuff can be replaced except for family memorabilia. We are trying to organize how we're going to rebuild our home. If you've ever had a house fire, you know how long this process can take. Lastly, the family would be remiss if they didn't discuss domestic violence. I'm sure I don't have to explain the seriousness of domestic abuse. If your son or daughter is experiencing or is a perpetrator of domestic violence, do the right thing and report it as soon as it happens. Lives depend on it. Again, on behalf of our family, thank you, and thank you for all the forms of support you have showed us in the past few days. God bless Mike, Susie, Allie, Nick, and baby Jackson. So with that, folks, I will open the floor up and open for questions. Hopefully everybody received a copy of the media advisory. This advisory will contain the names, rank, and spelling of each member in each agency. We're going to ask for a couple little house rules. We do have some folks from our communications teams here available to assist us.
All right, you have just been listening right now to the Surprise Police Department holding a news conference on what had happened on Friday. If you'll remember, these striking images here of the house being set on fire. Let's take you back to that day and what exactly happened that day. Surprise Police, they got a 911 call about a woman and a baby being held hostage. Now, what happened was the suspect, 51-year-old Todd Marchetti, he broke into that house that you see right there in flames, and he held the baby's mother and the child for hostage for hours that day. That was an hours-long standoff. Crews were actually able to go into that home before it was set on fire and rescue 7-month-old baby Jackson. That's because earlier the baby's mother, Allie, was actually able to escape from being held hostage, run outside, go to some construction workers who were out there working on this new development, and she was able to use their phone to call 911, and hence police came out and they were able to go in and quickly get baby Jackson out of that home. I will tell you, during this news conference, they released some of that police camera video that was warned from police officers. This is the video that was shown and released during this conference. I got to tell you, this is very rare, first of all, when you are seeing body-worn cameras being released during a news conference. But this shows you truly how tense this situation was. I mean, it is heart-stopping. You see the officers surrounding the home outside there with their guns drawn. And throughout this video, you'll see, it dip in and out. But then now they are in front of that house. They are making entrance. You can hear the canine and also see the canine with them as well. Several police officers, they make way into the kitchen. Again, guns drawn here. They are looking specifically for that baby, that 7-month-old baby that was already shot allegedly by the father. All right, so they're looking for the baby. You can also hear some of the baby's cries. Some of them actually go to the back of the family room that you see right there. They leave the room. The officers move in closer. And then this is when it's hard to hear, but you will hear the baby cry. And you see right there, that officer to the left of the screen, that officer runs out of the home with the baby in his arms. The other officers are making way into another part of the house right there, into the bedroom. But we know that at this point, the baby is out of the house. They are scrambling. They are getting out of the house. They know that the suspect is still in the house. And so they run that baby, their number one priority, they run that baby out of that house. All right, so now that the baby has been rescued, that baby was taken to Phoenix Children's Hospital. And then hours later, still a standoff. And it looks like, from what officers had told us in this news conference, that the suspect, Todd Marchetti, he set the house on fire, and he also shot himself. It was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. That is new information that we have just learned, that he shot himself in the head. Now, as far as the baby, if you are wondering, according to the family, baby Jackson, again, 7-month-old. Originally, we thought he was 6 months old, but he is 7 months old. He is currently in the ICU at Phoenix Children's Hospital. He is still alive, thank goodness, and he is still hanging tough. Allie, the mother, the family says that she is very thankful for the community's kindness and generosity. But again, just looking at that video of the officers making their way into that home, that is just heart-stopping video. Usually, we don't see dramatic video like that being released during a news conference that is being held live. So that just shows you the harrowing efforts of the resources and the SWAT team. I mean, this was a multi-agency effort. You had Goodyear SWAT team there, you had Buckeye PD, Surprise PD, as well as the Phoenix Police Department with their tactical unit. And again, it's just truly, truly incredible how this all unfolded. Very rare. And of course, we, so many people in the community are so thankful for what they did and their fearless attempts to go inside that home with the suspect who was armed and dangerous, who had shot that baby. And they still went in there to retrieve that baby and bring that baby out alive. And that baby is resting right now at Phoenix Children's Hospital. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.